Entered this trade in the E period. You can see I entered the first contract when we got to the bottom of the rotation. The second one, I waited for it to kind of dip down towards that D low, and that was basically my threshold for getting out of the trade. I wouldn't necessarily wait that long. If it, really started ramping up and headed that direction, I'd probably just close out of it. But that's pretty much what I wanted to see. And you can see how it lines up with the volume profile to the right there. I was just hoping for it to be a little bit more aggressive when it come out of that. And the problem was, as you can see how the C and then you had the D steps down. And if this E went up there right in that area, that's why I'm looking at that. I was thinking it could, kind of fall over and flush out towards the overnight low, which is the orange line there towards the bottom. The heavy dash line is the open, and that right there is the RTH VWAP. So I thought there was a chance that it could come down, extend a little bit lower. So I was kind of playing it safe, I guess. And Quantower did an update, so you can see they took out the time scale on the TPO chart. So that's why my chart looks a little bit different. And I'm using they also don't have the step profile. I'm using the right profile over here. That's showing me 24 hours of the volume profile. So like I said, that's the RTH VWAP. And I thought if it did start to do that, where it starts stepping down, you had the C, then the D, then it went to that E. Then I thought there was a good chance we'd try and test that VWAP and that, like I said, we would maybe even that overnight high there. But it didn't do that. But it just wasn't coming out of that. It wasn't taking that rotation the way I thought it would. I thought it would be really excited to see that test to that D low and kind of shoot up there. So I do end up taking one at about 20 ticks, which is my minimum that I'm looking for. And then with the update, for some reason, my highlighter here is messed up. So you see me messing around with this, trying to get the color right. And if you guys did update and you have this problem, what you need to do is go into the settings, go into the actual settings. You can't change the color from the, the initial thing that pops up when you click on it. So I messed with that almost through this whole trade, and then I end up getting it. That's how you solve it. Is to go into the settings, then you can set it to your default if you want, however you want it to look. You can see how it's just it's not really. I thought it was going to be, I thought there was going to be a lot more excitement coming out of this. And it just kind of, eventually we did make it, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So like I said, I take one somewhere about 20 ticks, which is about my minimum that I'll take. And then I grab the other one right up there around 27. We start pushing that high. And I think you had an opportunity in that J period that seemed like a nice pullback into this area that you could take to go higher. You can see how it's just not, it almost takes me out here actually. When I seen that come out of there, what I was hoping for was it was going to push up, at least maybe even break over that D high. And I would probably take one in that area. And then maybe that F period would come down and basically do what J did. And it just never got there. So, I just made a decision and took it. See, I'm messing with that highlighter again. Sorry, I know that's kind of distracting. I try not to do that when I'm making videos, but it's just driving me crazy. And I didn't know they were doing the update. And so I got here and got my platform open, and I had to go through, kind of getting acclimated to it because it looks so different. You can see I had big expectations when I started, but I'm starting to, lose faith in the fact that we're going to really push through here just because how, it's just not getting there. It's not getting the support that I wanted it or the interest that I wanted when I thought it would get. right in there. I think that was 20 ticks on that first one. Like I said, that's kind of my minimum. And then here I'm just checking to see if these alerts are still going to work after the update. And then I also, like I said, what I wanted was this E period to pop up over that D, and then get to the F period, have that pull down just like J did basically. And then I could re-enter that, if not enter more, and shoot over the top. But because it did start to pick up after I got rid of that first contract, it did start to pick up. And then right there, it took up my second contract. And that was about 26 ticks.